Well, first of all, hello everybody, Churro and Partners. My name is Ivan Mauricio Barrantes Leon, and this is my video about the history of the internet, the beginning of a new era. Here you will find information about the most important dates in the history of this amazing tool we use every day. The internet, it was a great invention that changed the way we see the world. And here we are going to talk about the history of the Web 1.0. One of the most important dates on the early beginnings of the web was the 4th of October of 1957, when the Soviet Union launched the world's first man-made satellite into orbit. That little satellite was called the Sputnik, and that little device, that it was a really simple device, changed everything because allows the people to transmit and receive radio signals out in the space, and that marked the beginning of the telecommunications era. So after the Sputnik launched, many Americans began to think more seriously about science and technology. So United States create new agencies like the National Aeronautics and Space Administrations, NASA, and the Department of Defense's Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA, to develop space-age technologies such as rockets, weapons, and computers. So we can see here new minds and scientists begin to develop the technology that create after the internet, and it has a relation between the war, the Cold War between United States and the Soviet Union, today Russia, because they were afraid each other after the World War II, and they were thinking about possible attacks from the other country. So one of the most important worries that USA had on that time was that just a single attack on their telephone net could disable all the country in its communications. So in 1962, a scientist from the MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and ARPA, named J.C.R. Licklider, proposed the creation of a net between computers, and that was the first time that people thought in the possibility of connect computers, and that first attempt to create a connection between hardware was named ARPANET, and was created due to the possible attack of Russia. So after they create ARPANET, they prove it, and in 1969 ARPANET delivered its first message, and it was a really simple message. Was a single word, and that word was login. Something curious about the first message that was transmitted between computers was that they just could sense the first two letters, the L and the O. The large syllable, well, they couldn't send it. But officially, the communication between computers was possible. And as I said before, that changed everything. So after they were able to make computers communicate each other, the ARPANET grew, and more computers were added to the new web. So something curious happened, something important, a really important problem happened, and it was that they had more computers, and the thing is that each computer had its own language. So how to fix the problem in order to make all the computers could understand each other? Well, the solution was create a protocol so the computers could send messages, and it doesn't matter the model or the coding language it used, they could understand the message due to the protocol they were developing. And the first protocol was used to make computers could understand the messages they sent each other was the Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP, and was created by the scientist Vinton Cerf in the 70s. In this case, was officially the first protocol that made computers could send and receive messages and understand each other. So they have now all the technologies, the software, and the basic hardware to connect more and more and more computers. And in this case, we can talk about that officially was created the primitive but useful Web 1.0. Service protocol transformed the internet into a worldwide network. So now we are not talking about computers. We are not talking about computers communicating each other just in USA. Now we have computers communicating each other all over the world. And throughout the 80s, researchers and scientists used it to send files and data from one computer to another. It was really simple, just text, little messages, information, but it was useful. But the things that they couldn't send multimedia, they couldn't send, for example, sounds or pictures, but that changed after a while in the year of 1991, sorry, when the internet changed again. And that year wasn't anymore a simple way to send files from one place to another. It changed to include, as I say, multimedia. And now we have more content, and we have to remember that in that year, well, we have more computers, and we have computers not just in military places. We have already computers in business, in all the business stuff all over the world. We have computers in schools, we have computers on homes. Well, now we have the internet, a useful tool that everybody could use, not just for sending messages, but send pictures, sound, and all kind of content. Well, since then the internet has changed in many ways. In 1992, a group of students and researchers at the University of Illinois developed a sophisticated browser that called Mosaic. It later became Netscape. And as we know, Netscape was the first worldwide browser that, in fact, Bill Gates used in his first commercial version of Windows. I remember that my parents used that. And well, officially the Web 1.0 was working, and now we have a way to have communication, and the internet had multimedia. The people had free access for information, and also they could interact each other. And well, that is the most important information about the history of internet, a series of events, of happenings that changed the way we see the world. Thanks for your time and for your attention. Well, thank you so much. See you later.